Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my reaction of UFC Fight Night Plessis versus Usman. And this was a decent fight night, I'll say. So let's get right into it, starting with the first fight of the night, Melisano versus Dione Barbosa. Now, I picked Dione Barbosa because I said that Melisano sucks, and she does. She's terrible. She's horrendous. The only thing that she's ever been good at is on the feet, and she has terrible takedown defense, terrible grappling defense. I know, like, I don't want to start off just shitting on her, but she's not good at all. Dione Barbosa is like an okay UFC fighter. She's not the best, but she's not the worst, and that's really what it is. She's just not the worst UFC fighter. And she was able to take down Melisano pretty quickly. Not a lot of strikes thrown, especially not on the feet. Like the 6 strikes landed by Melisano. That was probably it before she got taken down. She got taken down pretty quickly and then out grappled, almost got submitted a couple times, ended up making it back to the feet, and then as she was standing up, Dione Barbosa jumped onto her back and ended up finishing the rear naked choke. And something I didn't like about Melisano is that when she tapped to the choke, she had a smile on her face, almost as if like, hey, I still made it to the UFC. And like seeing that, I will never pick you in a fight ever. It's never gonna happen because I want to see you like punch the wall or like break down and cry and like, oh, she's on the ground for a weird amount of time after tapping to that choke. Like I want to see heartbreak, and I didn't. I saw, hey, I'm just happy to be here, so I'm never fucking picking you in a fight again. But yeah, not much to break down. Just UFC level versus not UFC level. That's about it. Yeah, let's move on to the next fight of the night. And it's bad when there's a finish in a women's fight. When there's a finish in a women's fight, that means that the skill difference between the two of them is a lot. Anyway, let's move on to RJ Harris versus Alvin Hines. I picked Alvin Hines, and my reasoning being I have no idea who RJ Harris is, and now I know who he is. He is really, I'm not gonna call him good, but he has a lot of power. And he's gigantic. He's massive. He's 6'6". I don't know how tall Alvin Hines is. They're not gonna tell me that anymore. But Alvin Hines is significantly shorter, and like, okay, Volkov, I think he's 6'7", but Volkov is like skinny. Like he's not like bones, but you see him and you're like, okay, you're big, but you're 6'7", so you're not like that big of a guy. You're just big because you're 6'7". RJ Harris is 6'6", and he's wide, and he's got fat on him and everything. He's just gigantic. I honestly don't really know how he makes weight. I guess he's like cutting down or something. He's big. He was much bigger than Alvin Hines, and he kind of realized that Alvin Hines would have to close the distance to land any strikes on him. So he just chilled back, didn't push a pace or anything, just waited for Alvin Hines to come to him. And Hines looked good early, was landing leg kicks, was landing jabs to the body, crosses to the body, but just nothing to actually scare RJ Harris. And RJ Harris just started pulling back and countering Alvin Hines as Hines would come in. And he caught him a couple times. He caught him with like a pullback cross, caught him with a couple hooks, and then finally the finishing sequence where he caught him with a hook and then caught him with an uppercut as Alvin Hines stumbled back. And this uppercut took Alvin Hines off of his feet. And Alvin Hines is a big dude. He's a heavyweight. And he literally got lifted off of the ground with this uppercut. So RJ Harris has crazy amount of power. I think part of it's also just the height of him, like almost pulling him up with that uppercut, but drops Alvin Hines badly, puts him away with a TKO win. And now RJ Harris is 6-0, and I'll be on the lookout for him. It's nice to have another heavyweight. He's got quick hands. He's got good power. He got emotional on the mic. I'm invested. I like him. Good shit, RJ Harris. And I got this one wrong, and I'm okay to get this one wrong. I'm happy with it. Let's move on to Alden Coria versus Stewart Nicoll. I was very disappointed in this fight. Alden Coria, I've been very high on him. I was kind of glazing him in the last video, and I don't think he's bad. Like he won this fight, but he should have dominated Stewart Nicoll. This really is like two different sides of the weight class, like in level. Like he should not even have fought Stewart Nicoll, and it was a competitive fight. And like, I mean, I had it scored 30-27. I saw people scoring it a robbery, or saying it was a robbery. It was not, and don't say that. And please don't say that again. There's some other things that we'll talk about later with decisions. But yeah, Alden Coria, he's good. He has good boxing, and he has really good grappling scrambles. But Stewart Nicoll was able to just kind of stay in the fight, and that's really all there is to say about that. Stewart tried to grapple. He couldn't hold out Alden Coria. He would get the takedowns, but Coria was good at just scrambling and getting back up from them, reversing at times, and he is a really good grappler. On the feet, he was getting stung up by Stewart Nicoll, which is just not a good look. He should have got, like, he was a minus 1100 favorite, which I don't agree with. I think he should have been like a 3-1 favorite at most, not 11-1 favorite. That's ridiculous, especially at flyweight. Like, even the Dione Barbosa fight, where she was like a 6-1 favorite. Like, at these lightweight classes, anything could happen. It's always going to be like a close competitive fight, at least somewhat. Um, but yeah, it doesn't really. I don't really get this fight. Like Alden Correa's looked much better in other fights. This wasn't a great performance from him. He pulled off the win, but he was getting stuck on the feet. I had him winning all 3 rounds. He outdamaged Stewart Nicoll in all 3 rounds. He had a couple submissions that he went for. I think they both at moments went on for the darts on each other. Stewart Nicoll like a couple times as like he would take down Alden Coria and Coria would try to get back up. He would go for the darts and he starts standing up and like it looks like he's going for the patty submission. Obviously couldn't get it. Coria had the tighter submissions. He had a couple tight guillotines. He had a tight darts that I thought he might have for a moment. He didn't end up getting it. Let me see if it says it's not going to show submission attempts. Okay. But yeah, round 1 was 15 to 10 on strikes. Round 2, 23 to 13. Round 3, 22 to 9. Not a lot of strikes were thrown, but Alden Coria did land the bigger strikes. Yeah, and but at the same time, Stewart Nicoll was in the fight. At no point was he out of it. He didn't get rocked badly at any point. Um, and yeah, I mean, again, it was a little disappointing performance from Alden Coria. I had high hopes for him. He asked for a ranked opponent. They should give him one just based off merit. He's 3-0 in the UFC and decent names. But yeah, not impressed. It was kind of a letdown. Anyway, let's move on to the next fight of the night. Ezra Elliott versus Damien Anderson. So this was actually not on the UFC website when I broke down the fights. I did put in the pinned comment that I'm picking Ezra Elliott. And my reasoning was because he has a better record. That's it. Shamelessly, I have not heard of either of these guys prior to their fights. Actually, someone was telling me about Damien Anderson like the day after I broke down the fights. He's like, "Hey, you hear about that guy from B Team?" Anyway, I picked Ezra Elliott because he was 7-0, and now he's 8-0. And let's talk about this fight. Ezra Elliott. So they're both grapplers. This was like wrestling versus jiu-jitsu, I would say. Almost right away, Elliott gets. I thought he got rocked, but he actually, well, he did. He got rocked. I thought it was with a legal strike. It ended up just being a clash of heads that smashed him right in the eye. His eye swelled up, but he was rocked, so he started grappling. Um, but he was able to just bully Damien Anderson in the grappling. Like that's basically the story of this fight. Damien Anderson is a bantamweight who moved up to featherweight for this fight because he was on short notice. I believe it was booked on Tuesday, which is very short notice. Ezra Elliott is a natural featherweight, and he missed weight, so he was just significantly bigger than Damien Anderson, towering over him, and he was able to just bully him. Like that's really all it is. Damien Anderson has very good jiu-jitsu, but in an MMA fight at the highest level in the UFC, you're not going to be able to use B team style jiu-jitsu of rolling for leg locks and stuff like that. It's just not going to be effective. He had a couple tight guillotines, but again, like in round 1, Ezra Elliott was kind of ragdolling and pulling him down at the end of round 1. Damien Anderson had this tight guillotine, but the round finished. Round 2, Ezra Elliott just went right back at it, and Ezra Elliott was tired because he was on short notice for both of them. He was really tired, but he just kept on shooting through it. Like it's not a striking match. They were just grappling, and at the end of the day, if you're a grappler and you've been grappling for a while, once you make that connection, it doesn't matter how tired you are. You can just keep on going. You know, especially if at this skill level. But yeah, he got more takedowns in round 2. He threatened a lot of submissions. The commentary team, oh my God, they're punishing us. DC on commentary, DC and Bisping, the two of them. Jesus Christ, man. They were going crazy because they're like, oh, Ezra Elliott needs to create damage. He's like nonstop going for submission attempts. I found this very entertaining. Maybe it's just because I'm a grappler, but I actually liked this fight. It wasn't like fight of the night, but it was just like a cool grappling match between these two, which was very dominant from Ezra Elliott. Round 1 you can give to Damien Anderson if you count the punches he landed after he rocked Ezra Elliott, but it was with a clash of heads, so I don't think it's fair to count that. And he got dominated for the rest of that round. Round 2, he got dominated, besides for another guillotine that he had in that round. And then round 3, again, just ragdolled. Let's see, how many takedowns? Yeah, so 12 takedown attempts by Ezra Elliott. On commentary, they were saying more than that. So I don't really know. They said that he broke the takedown record for a featherweight bout or a featherweight 3-rounder. I'm not sure, but he broke some kind of record, which, hey, taking a fight on short notice in the UFC and already breaking a record is pretty impressive, regardless, no matter how you look at it. People are comparing him to Merab, which I see it. Shooting takedowns nonstop, just being one step ahead of Damien Anderson in every position. And Anderson had his moments. He was going for Kimuras and other kind of jiu-jitsu stuff, guillotine, Kimura, but it's not going to work. Not against somebody like at this level of grappling. So yeah, so he got dominated and 30-20. I had a 30-27. You could say 29-28 if you give the first round to Damien Anderson based off the punches he landed early. But I don't see that, especially because it came from a clash of heads. Anyway, that was that fight. It's somewhat entertaining. Let's move on to Levi Rodrigues Jr. versus Felipe Franco. this one was a weird one because I picked Levi Rodrigues Jr. I got this fight wrong. Um, Levi Rodrigues Jr. has a lot of power in his hands, but the thing is, he was again just kind of bum rushing in, and to be fair, he was landing heavy punches on Felipe Franco, rocked him badly, and before that, Felipe tried to grapple and he couldn't take down Levi Rodrigues. But after he gets rocked, he shoots another takedown and takes down Levi Rodrigues. And the thing is, once Rodrigues got taken down, I realized, this fight's over because even though he has good takedown defense, once he's on the ground, he does not have jiu-jitsu defense. Felipe Franco is able to easily go to mount, and there was only like 30 seconds left in round one when this happened. So he was like landing ground and pound, obviously not enough to stop the fight, but he got there so quickly and did a lot of damage with the little amount of time that he had. Then I was like, oh, if he gets another takedown with any more amount of time into the fight, into the round, it's going to be a TKO. Like you could just see by the way Levi Rodriguez's uh, defense looked on the ground, like just bad. But before that, he looked good. Like when he got taken down originally, he was able to reverse Felipe Franco pretty easily. But then I think like once he rocked him and he got a little more tired, he got taken down. Round two, Felipe Franco understands he had success with the grappling, comes out, times a perfect double leg, I believe, brings Rodrigues to the ground and passes right into mount. And once he was there, it's like, okay, the fight's over. He landed a lot of strikes. I do think this was stopped early. I have to say, and not because I think Rodrigues would have won. I don't think he would have won, and I picked him, but he would not. He was not gonna get out of this one. There was a lot of time left. Yeah, there was like 3 minutes left to that round. He was not gonna win. But could we just like see people go a little bit out cold? Is that too much to ask for? I understand that like the fight was over, but I want to see something. God damn it! I don't think we had a flatline this card. We had a lot of TKOs, a lot of fucking weak ass TKOs. I want to see someone out cold. That's what we came here to see. We didn't get to see him out cold. He was protesting the fight. He was moving around. I don't know why the ref stopped the fight, but the fight would have been stopped eventually anyway. And good one from Felipe Franco. He like now okay like I guess now you could say well he looked good against Mario Pinto too. But in the moment I just thought that was because it was on short notice and like Felipe Franco lost to the guy who Rodrigues just beat. So MMA math, there it is for you. Anyway, good one from Felipe Franco. Had some personality on the mic. I like this guy. And let's move on to the next fight of the night. John Paul Labosnoyani versus Seokhyeon Ko. Now, I think this fight was scored badly. I disagree with the scoring of this fight, but it's a very close fight. I don't want to say robbery because it wasn't like, oh my God, you have to give this fight to Seokhyeon Ko, but I do think that the fight should have gone to Seokhyeon Ko, like in saying that. Round one, they were very evenly matched in general. Like it was kind of a mirror matchup, two good grapplers with heavy hands. Not like the best of strikers, either of them. Now we kind of saw that, but decent enough. Especially for grapplers. Round one, Seokhyeon Ko is coming out. Right away finds his jab, which was nice. He had kind of a weird stance, like hands kind of low by his hips, bouncing back and forth. You'd assume he was like a karate guy or a taekwondo guy, like he's about to throw all these knee stomps, but he was boxing from that stance, kind of like a McGregor in a way. But not at all the skill level of McGregor. Anyway, he's finding his jab early, kind of piecing up Jean Paul with jabs. We gotta make that name short. What is it? JPL. I'm just gonna start calling him JPL because it's too long of a name, man. Sorry, bro. I don't know who did this to you. So yeah, he starts like piecing up JPL, landing these jabs to the face, busted up his nose right away. His face got messed up. He shoots a takedown, and this is where like moment of truth. Let's see what's up. I think actually JPL shot a takedown first, but Seokhyeon Ko got up right away from it. I think he even reversed him for a little bit, got up, and then when he shot his own takedown, JPL grabs this guillotine, takes him down with it. Ended up getting on top from it, but Seokhyeon Ko scrambled back up, and that was kind of just round one of like, okay, Seokhyeon Ko out damaged him, but we understand like JPL as a jiu-jitsu guy is gonna have some resistance to the grappling. Wasn't as easy for KO to take him down, and then on the ground as well, he had that guillotine. Round two, Seokhyeon Ko was not like using his jab anymore. He just started throwing combos, and to be fair, they were landing, and JPL was landing shots too. And the big difference here is like in round one, JPL would throw one or two strikes, and Seokhyeon Ko he relies a lot on his distance, but he doesn't use a lot of head movement. He just kind of backs away with like creating that distance. And so in round two, JPL, and this was his coaches told him to do this, which was actually good fight IQ. He just extended the combo. He just started stepping through with his punches, and he started clipping Seokhyeon Ko on the way out. And Seokhyeon would not have that jab anymore. He was just throwing more so crosses, hooks, uppercuts, punches like that. But JPL was just hiding behind his guard and then would come out with his own punches, but now extending the combo to 4 or 5 punch combos. And those last 2 punches would land on Seokhyeon. And so round 2 goes to him. Seokhyeon shot a takedown again, and JPL got a guillotine. This time was even deeper. Ends up in mount with it. And there was like a time where he almost finished it. Seokhyeon ended up rolling him back over. Once it ended up like in guard again, I knew he was going to get it. It's tough to get it from guard. And that's round 2, and Seokhyeon got up from that. Round 3, this is where I disagree with the judges, because I had it 1-1 going into the third, as everyone should have. Round 3, the judges gave to John Paul Labosnoyani. I think it should have gone to Seokhyeon. Seokhyeon outdamaged him for a lot of that fight. He started using his jab more. There were no takedowns for some reason. I don't know. I think, like, look, if he didn't guillotine you in round 1 or round 2, I don't think he's going to guillotine you in round 3. But Seokhyeon relied more on his jab, started landing a lot of combos, and was kind of piecing up John Paul Labosnoyani in round 3. I don't understand. Let's look at the strike difference. Yeah, 25 to 23 from Seokhyeon, and he throws heavier punches. That just has to be said. And like, it was a very one-sided round. Not once. I'm not gonna say one-sided, but it was a clear round until like about 30 seconds left, where he started having bad body language and backing up. But that's not enough. And I know, like, so then John Paul like brought him into the center, and they had a little point down situation and landed a couple body shots. But I don't care about body language as much. If somebody outlanded somebody else in a round, I don't care how tired they look. We'll talk about the main event soon. If they landed more, bro. So yeah, I think Seokhyeon won this fight, but it's not like a bad decision. And John Paul Labosnoyani did impress me. He looked better than I thought he would. He was better on the feet than I thought he would. He had good cardio. We've seen him slow down before. We've seen that, like, in the later rounds, sometimes he gets sloppier. He looked good. He had a good guard, but I do think Seokhyeon like outdamaged him in round 1 and round 3. Round 3, JPL's face was kind of a mess. You know, his face was red, blood everywhere from the jab. But yeah, regardless, it was a close fight. And I'm not too upset about this. And they're both going to be something in the future. They were both really good. Like, this was prospect on prospect. Let's move on to Austin Bashi versus Jose Miguel Delgado. I was wrong about this one as well. I thought I had like a good understanding of this fight. The only thing I got wrong is I didn't expect Delgado's takedown defense to be as good as it was. Round 1, Delgado comes out. Austin Bashi, like I said, there's 2 types of grapplers. He's the type of grappler who will throw heat to get his takedown. He's not afraid of a fight. He's not like a Chase Hooper, who we'll talk about also, who, like, if he doesn't get the takedown, you're afraid for him on the feet. Because this fight did take place on the feet, and even though it was kind of one-sided, Austin Bashi held his own. So round 1, he comes out, putting pressure. Delgado throws a knee as Bashi goes for a takedown. He gets hit clean with a knee. He has a great chin. Like I told you, just look at this guy's facial structure, and you'll understand why he has a good chin. He eats the knee, throws a counter hook, drops Delgado, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm a fucking genius. But then he goes for a takedown and couldn't take Delgado down. And that's when I was like, oh, if you just drop Delgado and you can't get him down, and Delgado like made space, created space, and got back to distance, you're not gonna get a takedown. Like, that's when I kind of knew it was over. Um, he just couldn't take Delgado down. Delgado had good takedown defense. It's something that he's worked on, I'm guessing. He looked really good with takedown defense. Like, at no point was Bashi even close. Like, there were times where Bashi would shoot perfect double legs, and then Delgado would just slip the grip all the way above his butt, and then once he was there, just grab an underhook, reverse him, and then just like land a knee, land the elbow, separate. But Bashi looked good too. He wasn't very technical, but he has a lot of power, and he was just throwing combos and like basically not giving Delgado respect. He ended up getting rocked in round 1, shot another takedown, kind of got his head stuffed. But then Delgado like started kind of grappling with him, and I think even went onto his back and tried to choke him out instead of letting him back up. And in my opinion, could have TKO'd him in round 1. But then after that, round 2 and round 3 was him just kind of getting pieced up at range, landing a combo every once in a while, but just not being able to get his takedowns. In round 3, Delgado jumped the no. Delgado shot a takedown. He even did it in round 2, and everyone's like, what are you doing? Round 3 again, like, he's winning the fight, and he shoots a takedown and almost gets guillotined out cold. Very risky. He gets Austin Bashi pulls a guillotine, ends up getting mount from it, landed ground and pound, but just didn't do enough to get a TKO or anything, or even win the round, because he was getting stung up. If there was a round that you'd be able to give Austin Bashi, it would be round 3, but you can't really even give him that one. Just too little, too late. But this was a great scrap. And Delgado like impressed me with his takedown defense. His striking is always on point, and I think we have overrated his power just a little bit. I know we saw Hyder Emil out cold. I know, I remember. But now we have to kind of say Hyder Emil is just chinny. I know he doesn't look chinny by the way his jaw's built, but he is. Like, that's it. Because bro, Austin Bashi ate so many punches, and he got rocked a little bit, but still. Anyway, good fight, and yeah, impressive win from Jose Miguel Delgado. Let's move on to the main card. Tommy McMillen versus Alberto Montes. I'm happy, man. This is why I am a fan of UFC. Tommy McMillen just put on an absolute masterclass. Look at the strikes. Okay, hold on. Let me get my face out of this. Whoa. Uh, Look at the strikes for a second. Okay? 255 to 56. Round 1, 74 to 23. Round 2, 97 to 206. Round 3, 84 to 7. And there was still a minute and a half left. Pretty insane stuff. Let me put my picture back in the middle now. Yep, you guys are stuck with my face again. Um, Pretty insane stuff. He broke the record for a 3-round featherweight fight. Again, second fight in the UFC, breaking the record. 255 strikes landed, not even thrown, which is pretty crazy. And 252 out of the 255 were significant. That's pretty fucking insane. You do that on a heavy bag, you'll get tired. And he just walked down Alberto Montes. This was a crazy performance. It was shades of what's his name? Fuck, I can't remember his name. The heavyweight, the cringy guy. He's cringy, but he's funny. Anyway, point is, and with the MILF, Josh Hoke. I can't believe I forgot his name. Josh Hoke. It was shades of Josh Hoke of just crazy pace. The difference is this was one-sided. It wasn't a war. Tommy McMillen came out early, throwing just mainly just 1-2s and loopy punches, and then knee up the middle. He is much taller than Alberto Montes, and Montes came to scrap though. He wasn't gonna quit. He landed 55 strikes, 56 strikes. He did his share. But Tommy McMillen just much bigger than him. He's a big featherweight, 6 feet tall. And he's not even skinny. He's got some size on him. He has good head movement. I told you guys, like, I know he got clipped in round 1, and yeah, I think only in round 1 actually. But he got clipped a couple times. But for the most part, he moves with his punches, and that's what's hard. It's hard to hit him because of that. But yeah, Alberto Montes at some point in round 1, I think first he stung him with a cross, like pretty quick into the fight. But then Tommy McMillen just stayed in his face, just throwing the jab, cross, hook, jab, cross, body shot, just like 15 punch combos, like insane shit. He ended up getting dropped again, like towards the end of the round with a hook. But even then, it's like the way he's getting dropped is like hitting the floor and bouncing back up. Like it's not like real knockdowns. His butt never touched the ground, you know. But just putting a crazy pace. And at the end of round 1, Alberto Montes was starting to quit a little bit. You could see him already, like, we might be looking at round 1 TKO. But then he landed that hook that hurt Tommy McMillen, and that kind of let him survive the round. Round 2, Tommy McMillen just comes right out of the gate, just fucking right back at it, throwing crazy fucking combos. Did not look technical, but who cares, man? Like, who fucking cares? This was like an awesome fight. Just 15, what is it? 13 and a half minutes of pure entertainment, just going crazy. Round 2 again. And then at the end of at the end of each round, he was like kind of TKOing Alberto Montes. Alberto Montes just had no answer because this guy is just fucking overwhelming you, like throwing non-stop combos, kind of like Max Holloway style, minus the technicality of it and minus the chin, we have to kind of say, because he did get like dropped 3 times in this fight, but or twice in this fight. But he has the toughness, and he wasn't TKO'd. He's never been TKO'd. So even though he's getting dropped, it's like it's not that bad. Round 3, Round 3, he dropped Alberto Montes bad. He dropped in round 1 also, but in round 3, he dropped him bad. He hit him with this uppercut, then a knee to the face as Alberto Montes is on the ground. And this is something he did also in round 1. When Alberto Montes was on the ground, he was like kicking him and telling him to come up. And as Alberto Montes is trying to come up, he's like coming back at him and throwing knees and shit. And it's like, okay, either let him up or don't let him up. Stop this in between. But he lets Alberto Montes up in round 3 and just keeps on putting a fucking pace on him. At a certain point, the ref just had to step in because there was probably about 30 punches in a row that Tommy McMillen threw and that Alberto Montes just didn't defend. And they weren't like the craziest punches, but it was just overwhelming him to a degree where he was just like, he couldn't open up because every time he threw a punch, just 5 punches came right back at him. The ref had to stop the fight. I would have liked to see a fucking flat line, as I said in the other fight. I want to see someone fucking on the canvas, you know? But it wasn't in this fight. But it's insane, amazing fight. Just no words. Tommy McMillen, Tommy McMillen has become one of my favorite fighters tonight. I was already high on him. And guys, I was on the hype train before this performance. Let's just remember, I picked him in this fight. And I said in my last video, he's super entertaining. And you got to put some respect on his name. I believe he's 11-0 now. I'm seeing some people in the fucking UFC comments still hating on this guy. Bro, what the fuck? What do you need? What do you need from somebody? He is cringy. So what? He's backing it up like Josh Hokett. Same idea. Like, we need somebody. We don't have a McGregor anymore. We don't have that's it. Like, there's no more McGregor. So, like, we're gonna need these, like, kind of knockoffs of him who, like, it's good enough, you know? Tommy McMillen's good enough. He does what he itches that need I need from the sport, you know? Like, it's just good. He's just entertaining. He talks shit. They had beef for some reason. I don't know why. I have no idea what the beef was about, but they had beef, and that's all that mattered. They were talking shit. He was cursing him out in the fight, giving him middle fingers in the fight. It's just awesome. Stop being a hater. I see in the comments, oh, wait till he fights a grappler. First of all, he fought a grappler. Second of all, he is a grappler. Third of all, shut the fuck up. Let him be entertaining. Can we just enjoy this? Why do you have to always be like fucking, oh, this guy's gonna get fraud checked? Shut up. This is those same fucking people, probably are the same kind of guys when Connor came up were like, yeah, but fucking Mendez beats him. You know, Mendez, if he wasn't on short notice, shut up. Just enjoy the fights, man. But yeah, great fight. I'm a big fan of Tom McMillan after this fight. Just awesome to see. Let's move on to Tabatha Ricci versus Fatima Kline. This was pure domination. Fatima Kline just put an absolute beating. Well, you can't say beating. It's a women's fight. They're 115-pound women. There's no such thing as like a real beating. But she styled on her. She schooled her, and this is very impressive because I think Fatima Kline was ranked number 12 and Tabatha Ricci was ranked number 8. So she's going up like 4 ranking spots and like just dominated her in every aspect of the fight. The narrative going into this fight was Fatima Kline's a good striker. Tabatha Ricci's gonna have to try to get takedowns. Tabatha Ricci did try to get a takedown, and Fatima Kline like right away reversed her. And I think that's when Kline realized I'm the better grappler. So Kline just started grappling her too. Not to say she didn't land strikes. She did. She landed 14 strikes around 1, 30 strikes around 2, and 42 strikes around 3. So she built into the fight. But with that, she was also getting takedowns. And like, there's not a lot to break down, but she was just out grappling her in every position, out striking her on the feet, landing nice knees, nice jabs, nice crosses, just looking really fucking good. Like, at women's in the women divisions, this is what domination is going to look like. We're not going to get really like a flatline KO, but if this was a guy's fight, this would have been a brutal fight. Just think, I kept on thinking, I'm like, man, if they were guys, you know, man, if Fatima Kline was a guy, she would have fucked up Tabatha Ricci. But you know, that's the best we got. It's like, you know, it was a domination, even though there was no damage in either of their faces. Round 3, Fatima Kline gets a suplex, gets on top of Tabatha Ricci from the suplex, like goes ah, and then there's a second suplex. It was awesome. It was fun. Look, if you're not gonna get a finish, at least be entertaining. And I mean, it's the kind of performance you almost want to just throw into a title shot. You know, obviously not. She should probably fight one more time, but she's gonna have a top 5 ranked opponent that she's gonna fight next. She's gonna beat them. Like, I'm gonna pick her in the next fight, pretty much regardless of who it is, unless it's like Zhang Wei Li, you know. And then she's gonna fight for the title, and I think she might win. Like, that was just very impressive, well rounded everywhere, just really fucking good. She's a fucking beast. That was really impressive. Anyway, yeah, it's not often that I'm impressed by females in this sport, but she was just really good. Like, I'm even just thinking of that girl the other week who was like uh had the Joker makeup and stuff like that, Wang Kong, and I was impressed with her. But that was like, okay, she had pretty good striking. This is like she had good striking, good grappling, just beat Tabatha Ricci everywhere. You know, like, it wasn't even close. Good performance. Let's move on to what is this? Why is my mind blanking? What's it called? There's co-main event, and then there's the feature fight. That's what it is. It's called the feature fight. Chase Hooper versus Mitch Ramirez. This fight was always going to go one or two ways. Either Chase Hooper gets flatlined in round 1, or he gets a submission. And he landed he landed his like cross slash overhand right away. That's when I knew we were back. The Chase Hooper cross overhand that came out, which I think has gotten him in trouble in the past because he dropped Vyacheslav Borshev, and he got that submission. Ever since then, he thought he was a fucking striker and got knocked out twice because of it. But this fight, he knew what he had to get back to. He's been knocked out twice in a row, so he shot a takedown right away. It was a nice, he did like a single leg into like a forward roll to end up in side control. Mitch Ramirez tries to get up, hops on his back, drags him down, and chokes him out. Once he got the takedown, I knew it was over. That's when my heart can rest. I knew he was going to get knocked out. And I'm not surprised by this. If he can get the takedown, he's going to get the submissions. It's just, can he get the takedown before getting knocked out? So this time the answer was yes. But I'm happy that we're in a world where Chase Hooper got a win. And yeah, and now let's see what happens in his next fight with a slight step up in competition. Will he get the submission or will he get knocked out again? Let's move on to the co-main event, Jared Cannonier versus Christian Leroy Duncan. This fight was kind of That's how I describe this fight. Just just People have been picking Christian Leroy Duncan. It's not like an impressive pick. I picked Christian Leroy Duncan as well. He was a minus 350 favorite. A lot of like big favorites on this card, and I don't know why. Like I get it. Like everyone was kind of picking Christian Leroy Duncan. There was a 12-year difference between the two of these motherfuckers. Um, but like he should not have been that big of a favorite. Anyway, people are picking him by knockout, but I, being crafty, picked him by decision because Jared Cannonier fucking stinks up fights. It's just what he does. He's a cockroach. He's like a Neil Magny. You just can't get rid of these fuckers, you know? Unless you're like a really big prospect, which I guess Christian Leroy Duncan is not. Which that's another thing. Like I'm kind of disappointed in him. Um, if you just want a little like recap of the fight, Christian Leroy Duncan would throw a whole bunch of fucking spinning shit. It would land. It would rock Jared Cannonier. Jared Cannonier would hold him against the cage for like 2 minutes, and then they would go back to distance and do that again. Rinse and repeat. I think like 1 minute into the fight, CLD landed a spinning kick to the body. It like dropped Jared Cannonier like momentarily just from impact. As Cannonier's getting up, he threw a knee that like just barely missed Cannonier, and Cannonier's knee was on the ground, so that was illegal. And the foot actually hit his face, so it was illegal shot. But the ref was Herb Dean. Oh, and that's pretty funny because Herb Dean, he was a ref in two of these fights. Both times when whoever the announcer was saying, "Any referee in charge, Herb Dean," right? The whole crowd is booing him, which is just nice to see. You know, even Bisping was talking shit about him. Like, yeah, let's just normalize hating on refs because what the fuck? Like, Herb Dean is a terrible ref. Let's just hate on him. But yeah, anyway, that was like yes, round one. He dropped him with that spinning back kick. Ended up catching him with an elbow and a knee to the face as well. But then Jared Cannonier just held him against the cage for a little bit. At a certain point, CLD ended up reversing him. Round two, similar. Round three, it was all the same thing. It was a decent fight just because Jared Cannonier kept on getting rocked by like knees, spinning elbows, spinning wheel kick, spinning back fist, just anything spinning related. Christian Leroy Duncan would throw out there. At moments he slowed down. I think at a certain point in round two, he got taken down for a little bit. Was it round two? Uh, no, I don't know. Sometimes reversals, takedowns. Yes, yes. So it was round two. Round two. Round three was also when Jared kind of really started wrestling. It was a kind of a boring fight. CLD won. He's not a big prospect. He did get taken down a lot in this fight. And he got back up to his feet, and he would rock Jared Cannonier. And in the clinch, what I thought would happen, and what did happen, is he would land these knees, land these elbows, and he was out damaging him. So it wasn't even like a close fight. It was just boring because when he wasn't doing that, like if it wasn't the 30 seconds of the round that he was doing that, he was just getting held against the cage, getting taken down, getting back up, holding Jared Cannonier for a little bit. Like I feel like when people get taken down and they get back up, they think it's like now I have to clinch them up. Like no, you can be entertaining CLD. Just because Jared Cannonier is boring doesn't mean you have to do that too. You can, if you reverse him in the clinch, you don't have to hold him against the cage. You can let go of him and be fucking entertaining. But they get like stuck into this like, oh, okay, are we just gonna hold each other against the cage now? So I was very disappointed in this fight, but not really because I kind of predicted this to happen. I did pick him by decision. I do think that CLD kind of gets destroyed by a slight like level up in competition. I thought he would do better. And Jared Cannonier, you look at old man, it's time to retire. And so it is. It's also for the main event we're gonna talk about. But Jared Cannonier is like 42. He's still tough. Like he got hit with a spinning elbow and he did this like yeah, like bring it on. But he's just like old. I don't see him winning a fight anymore. Like who? I don't see him winning again in the UFC. I'll be honest. Like he just looked bad. He like in any interview to bring up his age. He's like, no, I'm still gonna go for my title run. I think the title run's over, man. I think the title run is over. I don't think you're beating anybody, and definitely not anybody ranked anymore. So that's it for you. And CLD, like, give him a jump up in competition, but let's see what's up. I don't think he makes it much further than this. Let's move on to the main event of the evening: Dricus du Plessis versus Kamaru Usman. This was a great fight. Dricus just beat the fuck out of Kamaru Usman. That's how I'm gonna say it. He rocked him 6 times in this fight. He was much bigger than him, clearly. And I told you guys this would happen. I told you he'd be much bigger than him. He was. He was both taller and wider than him. I don't know what Usman's doing at 185. I think he just thought that if he beats Dricus, that's an easy like title shot. Like they'll just give him a title shot. But he was never gonna beat Dricus. I told you guys like this isn't Robert Whitaker making his debut against like a number 10 in the rankings in the weight class above. This is making your debut against Dricus, like debut in that weight class, obviously against Dricus. That's tough. He's a big fucking middleweight. But yeah, let's talk about the fight. Round one, Dricus finds his jab very early, and that's like impressive. Like right away, he found his range, and part of it's just because he was so much taller. Kamaru Usman did not really find his range in this fight until maybe like round 4, I'll say, is when he like landed anything substantial. It was a very one-sided fight. But yeah, Dricus finds his jab early, ends up finding these twos and like kind of hooks over the guard behind the jab. He rocks Usman like right away into round one. Like once he found that jab and he found his distance, I'm like, oh, it's on. He rocked Usman with a hook. Was throwing a lot of body kicks, a lot of knees, a lot of uppercuts. Round two, as Usman ducks his head, Dricus throws a rear knee. He was in southpaw, so Dricus was switching back and forth from orthodox to southpaw, so that Usman couldn't really get a read on him. It couldn't really establish any takedowns. But he was in southpaw, throws the knee as Usman ducks his head. It lands flush on Usman's face. Usman gets rocked again. He got rocked after that again with like a head kick, and then after that again in the same. This is all in the same round. He got rocked 3 times in round two. He got rocked with another punch. I think it was a straight cross. Just couldn't find his timing. Everything was hurting him. I think Dricus could have gotten a finish in this fight, um, but he was kind of hesitating. He was saying I was being composed. I've been working on my Dricus impression. I think I was just being composed, you know. Yeah, you think what your father did to you is bad. What you see what I do to you in that fight. So let me know what you think of that impression. I've been working on it. That wasn't the best. I've done better in the mirror. You should see me in the mirror, man. It's a whole different world over there. Maybe we'll pull it out again sometime. Um, but yeah, Kamaru Usman just did not look good at this fight. Looked old. Like, he looked fine, but he also looked like outsized. Round three, Kamaru Usman did a little bit better. That was like the only round of the fight that he didn't get rocked. But even then, like Dricus was still outlanding him, and that's the thing. Like Dricus has been starting to throw a lot of body kicks. We saw that in the Strickland fight, the second one as well. Just throwing body kicks, throwing head kicks, and even if they are getting blocked, it's just impact, just like boom, boom, just like let's look at like round three, which was like I'd say the closest fight, the closest round out of all of them. It's still 25-17 in favor of Dricus. So like at the end of the day, he did outland him even in that round, and he was kind of taking a breather because he got tired. Round four, right back at it. You think Kamaru would start to make his way back in. Dricus rocks him with another head kick. Like Usman, you got to repair that part of your game. How have you not learned? This one did hit the guard. Like Usman's head was up as the head kick came, but it was just. I mean, he's a big fucking dude. You can't block head kicks with just one hand. Volkanovski has told us that as well. So rocks him again in round four, beating him up. At a certain point, I think this was in round two where Dricus threw like a hook. It lands clean on Usman, um, and then Usman says an eye poke. And this was like the cleanest punch I've ever seen. There's no way this was an eye poke. They play he like, and the thing that I don't like about Kamaru Usman, when he calls a foul, first of all, you can't fucking call a foul. You're an athlete. You're not a ref. He just walks off as if like, yep, he eye poked me. I'm done. Like you can't do that. Wait for the fucking ref. But the ref like got pressured. They look at it. It was clearly a punch to the eye. So Usman has to keep on going. He's being all salty. And in round four, when he gets rocked by the head kick, he gets rocked with this head kick, and then Dricus just starts spamming head kicks. Throws like 3 head kicks in a row, and every time it lands on Usman, Usman starts looking at the ref and like almost like how dare he? What does he do? Ref, are you seeing this? He's rocking me. He's throwing head kicks on me. I don't know what the fuck Usman was doing. This whole fight, he was acting weird. Like I don't think he realizes how rocked he was in all these rounds. Every round, there were multiple times where his legs just went jelly and he was just like losing balance from the impact. It was just really funny to see. Round five, again he got rocked. Maybe this time it was with a head kick. I think in round two there wasn't a head kick. It was round four and round five. Um, he got rocked in round five again, um, and then and then he got hit with like this leg kick, and like the leg kick, it was like a very Muay Thai style leg kick that Dricus threw. Dricus threw like you step through and you kick it to the rear leg, and it kind of like bounced off of the leg and hit the cup a little bit. Not enough that I think he was hurt, by the way, because I've worn cups. You need to get direct impact for it to hurt through a cup because you're still wearing a cup. I just think Kamaru Usman likes calling fouls, and he just starts walking off like, "Yep, that was a foul again." And the ref's like, "I guess, whatever." And it did hit the cup, um, but I don't think it was as bad as Usman made it sound. Anyway, Dricus just kept on putting a beating on him. Like when there was like a minute and a half left to round five, Dricus started slowing down, and Usman I think actually round four is when Usman landed this like this 1-2, and that was like the only solid punches he really landed in the fight was in round four. It kind of looked like a Masvidal 1-2, but there was no rotation from Dricus to Plessis, so there was not a big impact, but it was by far the cleanest punch he landed in this fight. But round five, Dricus started slowing down. Kamaru Usman started pressuring him because he realized that. Oh, by the way, Kamaru couldn't get any takedowns in this fight because every time he would try to shoot a takedown, Dricus would just throw that knee up, throw uppercuts, throw head kicks, just keeping him away and switching stances. So it was a great game plan, and that's something that we have to give credit to Dricus' team about, is just the game planning. Like, besides for the Hamzat fight, obviously, but all the other fights, they have great game plans, like just tailor made for each individual. And you could see like the strikes he was throwing were specifically tailor made for Kamaru Usman. But yeah, in round 5, he slowed down a little bit. Kamaru started putting more pressure. He didn't land anything big though. That's the thing, because the judges scored this. One judge gave it 50-45 that I agree with. The other two gave it 49-46. I don't agree with that, because I understand Kamaru landed a couple punches at the end of round 5, and Dricus was kind of running away and he was tired and he failed 2 takedowns. But he also rocked Kamaru Usman, and Kamaru did not rock Dricus. So I don't know how anybody gave him round 5, unless they gave him round 3, which I equally disagree with. Yeah, let's look at the strikes of round 5. So it's 24-22 from Kamaru Usman, but he got rocked, So like that should weigh a lot more. But yeah, regardless, complete domination from Dricus to Plessis. Kamaru Usman, at going into round 5, his coach tells him, "You need to finish," and he goes, "Really?" Like, bro, yeah, really. You got rocked. Going into round 5, you got badly rocked in 3 out of 4 of those rounds. There's no way you think that you don't need to finish in round 5. And then round 5, you got rocked again. When they say 49-46, Usman goes, he turns to DC, and DC doesn't know what to do because it's the clearest fight ever. Like, there's no argument in this fight. And DC just goes, almost as if like, yeah, man, I'm totally with you. I don't know what they're thinking scoring this fight to Dricus du Plessis. But yeah, it was really funny just seeing cope from Kamaru Usman. He even on the mic was like, yeah, I don't know who gave him 50-45. Fuck off, man. You lost. You lost badly. Dricus is just much bigger than him, and it was domination. And Dricus looked good. He didn't even look that goofy. He still had moments where he threw like a jump a jump knee, or he would switch stances mid combo and throw that blitz, and he looked goofy. But he's looking good, and I do want to see him versus Strickland in the trilogy. He's the only guy in middleweight right now who I think can beat Strickland. But they do have to do Imam Strickland first, just based off merit. You kind of have to give Imam the title shot, but I'd much rather see Dricus versus Strickland. It's an interesting fight again. And yeah, that's my breakdown for the whole card. It was a decent fight night, as I said. Um, I would like to have seen a flatline KO. But yeah, all around was very enjoyable. And that's it. See you guys in the next video. Peace.